Diyos. Maraming salamat po sa buhay at lakas na aming taglay, sa liwanag ng kaisipan at sa pagkakataong maipagpatuloy ang pag-aaral ng mga kabataan. Gabayan po ang bawat isa sa amin. Anuman ang bahagi na aming gagampanan, naway maging maayos at matagumpay ang pagtuturo at pag-aaral na aming gagawin sa araw na ito. Patawarin mo po kami sa aming mga pagkulang at pagkakasala. At sa aming paggawa, ikaw po ang aming makasama. Amen.
Good day, grade 11 students. Welcome to another episode of Reading and Writing class. We will surely have an informative and fun-filled way of learning. I am Ma'am Hazel Arellano of Lawang, Bato National High School. But before we begin, I would like to remind you of the following. Prepare your pen and your notebook for note-taking. Second, observe proper etiquette and use the chat box in answering questions. Lastly, participate and stay focused on our discussion. And do not forget to comment your name on our comment box. Our today's topic is actually about formulating evaluative statement. But before we discuss, let us name what is today's most essential learning competency. So our today's most essential learning competency is a formulate evaluative statement about a text read. More specifically, assertion about the content and properties of the text and counterclaims in response to claim made in a text read. So assertion and claims. But before I proceed with our today's lesson, let us first guess what is the word being projected. So there are two photos, then combine them together, and let's guess what is the photo. So we have there two photos. You have 5 seconds. If your answer is fact, then you are correct. Now let's proceed with the next word. You have O plus pin plus ion. Now let's guess what the word is. You have 5 seconds to guess it. If your answer is opinion, then you are correct. Now let's proceed with the last photo. So con plus oven plus lotion. What could be the word? You have 5 seconds to guess it. If your answer is convention, then you are correct. So, formulating evaluative statement. We have to understand first what is formulating evaluative statement. Formulating evaluative statement, it is a way of giving a better explanation to show the strength and weaknesses of something through writing. It presents a value judgment based on a set of criteria. Presenting a value judgment based on a set of criteria, you needed a judgment that can be supported by valid reasons or facts. How to formulate evaluative statement. There are two different ways on how to formulate an evaluative statement. The first is formulating assertion. It is about content and properties of a text read. Next is formulating counterclaim. You say formulating counterclaims, it is a response to a claim made in a text. So formulating assertion. Let us first define what is assertion. Assertion is a statement used to make a declaration or to express a strong belief on a particular topic. It is um, often without evidence. So it is a statement used to make declaration to express a strong belief, particular topic without evidence. The purpose of writing assertion is to convey directly their ideas or feelings or convince the reader to accept the writer's interpretation about a certain work. We can do this by examining which ideas are facts or opinions by making inferences or conclusion and assessing the overall quality of the text. So according to Chongson 2016, assertion or a declarative sentence that claims something that is true about something or something else. There are 4 types of assertion. Statement of facts, statement of opinion, statement of convention, and statement of preferences. So we have here the statement of fact. So this statement can be proven objectively by direct experience, testimonies of the witnesses, verified observation, or result of a research. Statement of fact can be proven effectively. These are the statements that can be checked or verified. We can check facts by conducting experiments or observation. Facts are certain, always remember that, which may include number or it may contain specific information about person, place, or things. So we have here the example. The sampaguita roots are used for medicinal purposes such as an anesthetic and sedative. The example can be directly verified as a statement of fact. Why? Because it is based on experience or reliable researches. Next is we have statement of opinion. When you say statement of opinion, it is based on facts but are difficult to be objectively verified because of the uncertainty of producing satisfactory proofs of soundness. These are statements that can be proven, that cannot be proven, nor checked. This is actually someone's belief, and this type of assertion is open for dispute or debate. For you to be able to identify facts or opinion, you have to ask yourself if this statement can be proven. If your answer is correct, or yes, should I say, then that is a fact. But if your answer is no, then definitely that is opinion. So we have here different clue words in statement of opinion, such as think, believe, sim, always, never, most, least, first, and greatest. So example of a statement of opinion is the popularity of sampaguita flower is most evident in place of worship. If you will notice in the given statement, it is considered statement of opinion. Why? Because it is based on observation that needs to be proven by studies or repeated observation. There are a lot of factors involved that makes explicit judgment difficult. So next, we have statement of convention. When we say statement of convention, it is a way in which something is done similar to tradition or norms. Convention depends on historical precedents, laws, rules, usage, and customs. In the statement of convention, it looks commonly held definition and beliefs further verification. Its truthfulness can be verified by how commonly held definition are interpreted. They may sound factual, but actually there's no amount of observation nor measurement will prove a statement of convention true or factual. One goes to dictionary or reference work to verify conventional statement. Convection believes that they are socially accepted but cannot be verified objectively. We have here an example. Sampaguita belongs to genus Chasminum of the family Olicaea. This actually sounds factual, but do you know? This statement is a convection one. Why? Convention one. Why? It is based on classification system made up by scientists and it is acceptable to the scientific community. The last statement is a statement of preference. When I say statement of preference, it is based on personal choice. Therefore, they are subjective and cannot be objectively proven or logically attacked. This statement goes to the heart of our values or beliefs. No proof is possible. There's no obligation to support the truth of such statement. Example, sampaguitas are the most beautiful and most fragrant of all flowers. This example is a statement of preference. Why? Because it says a lot about what the type of flower does the speaker likes, instead of objectively comparing it to other flowers. So formulating counterclaim. Formulating counterclaim, to be an effective thinker, critical thinker, it is not enough for you to be able to identify claims or assertion. It is also important to have an ability to weigh or analyze different claims. Being able to recognize and construct an argument is a characteristic of a good critical reader. So what do we mean by counterclaim? Counterclaims are claims made to rebut a previous claim. They provide a contrasting perspective to the main argument. We have different ways, or we have ways in formulating counterclaims. How are we going to do that? What are the major points on which you and the author can disagree? We can also have, what is the strongest argument? What did they say to defend their opinion or their position, rather? What are the merits of their view? What are there any hidden assumptions? Or which lines from the text best support the counterclaims you have formulated? Being able to locate and provide counterclaims on arguments, you have to show deep competence and familiarity of the writer's topic. It will show that you are examining different perspectives and not just possibly accepting the writer's claim. It also shows that you have studied and considered topics and you are willing to engage with different viewpoints, thus remaining to be objective. In that way, there are different steps in writing counterclaims. We have step 1, ways to begin counterclaim paragraphs. Many people believe that it is often thought that it might seem as if, and while it is common. Next step is ways to transition from the opposite side back to your opinion. So these are the words we can use. What arguments fails to consider is, this view sounds convincing at first, but although the core claim is valid, it suffers from the flaw in it. And the step 3 is write counterclaims. Use one of the sentences or sentence starters in step 1. Remember to transition back to your opinion. And lastly, use one of the sentences starter in step 2. So we have here an example. It is often thought that social studies is the favorite academic class for junior high school students. However, what this argument fails to consider is that science allows for more hands-on activities. For example, when studying amphibians, you get to dissect a frog rather than just study about an event from the past. If you can see in the given example, there are highlighted words or the red ones. These are the sentence starter that counterattack the claim that social studies is the favorite academic class or subject in the class. Therefore, the counterclaim is the opposition you make about the claims of the writer. When you state your counterclaims, you must recognize the value of hedges. So, what are the hedges or what is hedges? A hedge is a word or a phrase that minimizes negative impact of criticism. So, you can see here, hedges could come in different forms such as modals, frequency adverbs, probability adverbs. Under modals, we have may, could, would, etc. In frequency adverbs, we have usually, generally, commonly, while in probability adverbs, we have probably, possibly, presumably. So we have here two different examples. Let me read. Obesity is caused by bad food choices being offered by the food industry. While the second example is obesity is probably caused by bad food choices being offered by the food industry. If you will notice, in the given example, the first sentence didn't use hedges, while the second one uses the word probably to change the tone of the statement. So, before we end our discussion, let us see how much you have learned from today's lesson. Comment your answer in our comment section. Let me read the first sentence for you. In the first quarter of 2014, nearly 300 million smartphone units were sold all over the world. So what are you going to do? You're going to identify what type of statement it is. So you have 5 seconds to identify the first sentence. So if your answer is statement of fact, then your answer is correct. Next sentence. Social networks are the most distracting websites on the internet. So you have 5 seconds to answer or to identify what type of statement it is. If your answer is statement of opinion, then your answer is correct. Now, let's proceed with the third sentence. Parents ought to enforce stricter guidelines in social media to safeguard their children's privacy. You have 5 seconds to answer this sentence. If your answer is statement of convention, you are correct. And last sentence. Facebook is cooler social media platform than Twitter. Now, let's see what type of statement it is. The 5 seconds. If your answer is statement of preference, then you are correct. So if you still have question and point of clarification regarding our today's topic, you can ask your respective subject teacher in your follow-up discussion. I hope you learned something from today's lesson. Thank you so much for watching and listening. Stay safe and have a good day.